So there's a reason why I set myself apart from the holistic and allopathic community. There's a reason why I don't really do collaborations with anybody, especially in the holistic allopathic world, because their whole premise is predicated upon stopping the pain. So yeah, they may say, yeah, we're going to lead you to pain, but they are only working in one-dimensional, in the context of healing. They're only working from a one-dimensional aspect. They're only working with like, yeah, we'll bring up the pain, no different than a detox, no different than any kind of operation or working out when you have a specific outcome. Yeah, pain's involved, but what is the pain paired with, and why is it happening? So there are some therapists out there that think that they're just like the J-Juice. Oh yeah, I lead people to pain. I induce pain. I'm no different than you, Jillian. And no, sorry, but the pain has to be paired with the right kind of device. The device has to be actively working with the correct elements to handle the reinfection. Every single time a therapist goes and releases toxins from the lymphatic system, from the lymph nodes, because you have lymph nodes, you have areas in your body that hold trauma. The reason why, because that's the body's defense mechanism, so it doesn't destroy the body. So it holds trauma in different areas and it compartmentalizes it, keeps it separate, no different than a tumor, no different than a skin tag. That excess toxins, elements, and things the body doesn't need, that it needs to separate itself so the body can still continue to live. But what happens is we have therapists out there, whether it's, body, mind, and spirit therapists out there that go and manipulate the body, go and manipulate the mind. They go and manipulate the spirit, but it's on a device that cannot handle the reinfection. When you have a massage therapist working on your lymph nodes and you are not doing the J-Juice, because I'm going to say anyone that's not doing the J-Juice are getting reinfected by therapy, and it's destroying them even further. So anyone that's getting therapy done to them without incorporating J-Juice, they are essentially being reinfected by the same toxins the body tried to compartmentalize and separate from the vital organs. And then, yeah, the person's in pain and you're trying to guide them through it on a body that can't handle it. That's the difference between J-Juice and incorporating a therapy versus just doing a therapy. I see people out there that are therapists out there that are talking about all their different methodologies, and they don't speak of J-Juice at all as part of their protocol because they're only trying to do it for themselves and for a select few, but it's not part of their actual platform, which it should be, but it's not. So what happens is that you have these therapists that are picking and choosing who they introduce J-Juice, and in essence are taking somebody's money and damaging that person even more. Even though, yeah, they're getting some kind of like temporary benefit, but that's no different than chemotherapy and cannabis and immunotherapies and vaccines. It gives you a temporary stay of execution, but in the long run, it's hurting you if you don't upgrade your device to be able to handle that initial message. And trauma is when the body is weak and it cannot handle the messages of the universe. That's what trauma is. Okay? So there's no point in revisiting trauma if the body couldn't handle it to begin with and it can't handle it a second time. You think that it's like doing the same thing over again, but expecting a different result? And that's exactly what therapy is without the J-Juice. You're doing the same, it's insanity. Therapy without doing the J-Juice is insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And then all you're doing is just manipulating the biochemistry to get a particular outcome, like, anesthetizing a person, bringing up other hormones like, oxytocin or adrenaline or dopamine or serotonin, or your sticky needles in them, bringing up specific types of hormones to have a specific outcome to numb the area, but you're actually not helping the person. And so whenever I have a therapist that's trying to understand myself and then trying to say, oh yeah, I'm just like you, Jillian, and they're trying to now interpret J-Juice through their own eyes, their own perception, of their death trajectory. And they try to give me a testimony so early on in the process as if they were actually getting the benefit of the J juice, but then they're continuously compartmentalizing. Oh, we're spiritually evolving. Oh, it's just about the salt. Oh, it's about the gene keys and all these things. And I know exactly where they're coming from. Okay. It's like, I know the deal here, you guys. There are so many therapies out there that will not incorporate J juice, but they're going to try part of my group, try to pick apart my information and cherry pick stuff to then enhance their own marketing campaign. And I know that happens. And I said that already in my last video. And I called that person out on it. Now they're trying to defend that, oh no, they're not doing that. However, how can you, I'm going to be very frank, how can you help somebody reach the next level of human consciousness if you haven't even upgraded your own device? Very well-educated people can be a blessing when it comes to the J juice, but they also can be a curse or undermine their own ability to be open to this information, because they're still working from, we got to mitigate pain. Oh yeah, we'll induce pain, but we don't need to upgrade the device to be able to handle that reinfection. And so, you know, then you're no different than some doctor charging you $500 or some insurance company charging somebody an arm and a leg for some kind of stay of execution. Okay, so the holistic world therapies and the allopathic world therapies are no different. They're one and the same. They still take your money and give you a stay of execution. And don't think that because you're part of the J juice world that you're anything like me, because you haven't been on this protocol long enough to really see the benefits, to be able to speak about it in the way that I know how to speak about it. Because I still see your biases coming through. I still see where you're coming from, which is from your own death trajectory, your own, you know, focus on mitigating pain. And though you say, oh yeah, I'm leading people to pain, but you're not upgrading their device, because J juice is not part of your platform. Because people are too afraid to promote J juice as part of their overall platform because of the backlash. But it's so necessary. So what do people do? They cherry pick who and which gets the information. And so yes, so maybe they have 50% of their clientele, you know, not doing J juice. They're not even going to bring up J juice to any of their symposiums or any of their seminars, but only to their select few on Facebook. And they tag me and say, oh yeah, look, I'm introducing J juice to some people. But no, when you actually go to the public, you won't even mention J juice as part of your platform. So in essence, you're still harming the public with your therapies. And then you're trying to play it off like you're, you know, part of the J juice world. Oh yeah, I love J juice. It's so great. But you're too afraid to really, really understand it for what it really is. Okay, so I'm privy to all of this because I see what you post on your Facebook. I see what you say. What you simply write on your interpretation of J juice tells me everything, whether or not it's your intention, but what you write is exactly how you're thinking and how you're compartmentalizing J juice. We have people compartmentalizing the ingredients and either demonizing or promoting each specific ingredients, not as a whole, not as a chemistry, a biochemistry or a chemistry or a chemical process. No, they compartmentalize and they try to promote, oh yeah, it's all about the salt and the pink salt, okay, as if it was the only thing that was part of the J juice protocol. No, it's not just a salt. It's a lactic acid, it's a micro and macronutrition, and it's also the pain. And then it's part of the healing process and all this other stuff. Oh, then they compartmentalize the pain process. Oh yeah, no pain, no gain. No different than the exercise world. Oh yeah, no pain, no gain. Okay, I mean, you can have pain in manipulating and harming somebody, and then you say, oh, it's healing. It's a body trying to heal from that damage, from that torturous exercise that you're putting on your body. Okay, and then you're getting all these muscles in a six-pack, and you're also aging at the same time. But it has to be, when you're dealing with pain, it has to be paired with the right context, the right device. No different than when you pair the lactic acid with the vegetable. Okay, because probiotics in of itself is not good for you in of itself, all by itself. It's what it's paired with. Pain is not just something that you just do and it's so healthy for you. It's what it's paired with. It's a device that it's paired with, and what is going on with that device. Is that device able to handle that pain sequence? And that's the difference. And so yes, you know, I'm sorry, therapists that are out there that are doing the J juice. If you're not coming from the standpoint of J juice on your political platform, when you charge people money for your symposiums, and that doesn't even come up at all in your platform, then you're being deceptive. And I see that. And that's what triggers me, because I see deception from people who claim to be all about JGs, but they're too afraid to bring it to the public. And so while in the meantime, they're so afraid, they're still damaging people. They're still damaging themselves and damaging people, because I know they're not doing the JGs at the level that they say they are. Okay. So, I'm letting you know that I recognize that. And just another revelation, not even revelation, another thing to point out is pain is not the only thing on JJUS. It's what it's paired with, what device it's paired with, and why you're inducing it. And simply just bringing up people's pain and poking at them and poking at their trauma and bringing it to the surface and thinking that's going to heal them on a body that can't handle it. Okay, that's not healing either. But remember, we have people who are desperate out there and don't want to feel the pain. Okay? And so you bring up pain, and then there's, what is it? The problem, reaction, solution, the Hegelian dialectic. Create the problem, bring up the pain that was already compartmentalized in the lymph nodes and different parts of the body, the trauma. And then you have a reaction, oh my God, in my childhood, oh my God, it's painful here, this and that. And then now you have the solution. That's exactly what the holistic allopathic is. It's the Hegelian dialectic. Problem, reaction, and they have the solution, and it's still damaging people. So now you have to look deeper than just, oh, pain, oh, I don't know, what is it? Evolution and human consciousness. And it's bigger than just those pretty buzzwords like microbiome and flora. When people who are religious bring up the microbiome and the microflora, and they're saying that, yeah, for you, God wants you to only eat this type of food, but yet their people are dying. They have aging in that religion. Okay, so it's like the buzzwords can only take you so far, people. Buzzwords have, this much meaning to it when the end result is like people are dying anyways, and you're still damaging them. Okay. So, don't think that your buzzwords are going to really impress me. It's going to impress all the people out there that are just the layperson who's just kind of going by, and they hear about you through a friend, and then you're talking all these buzzwords, microbiome, flora, evolutionary consciousness, this and that, and they're like, oh my God, this person knows stuff. And I know, a lot of the psychotherapy energy healers, and I'm going to do psychotherapy / energy healers, trauma therapists will use those buzzwords. And so you say, oh yeah, I'm not an energy healer. BS, when you're utilizing the words like, the spirit is evolving continuously to where you don't have to eat food at all. Yeah, you are in that chakra healing energy area. Don't try to play games with me. I know exactly where you guys come from. Okay? So now you got to look deeper than just the pain. It's what it's paired with. What device are you pairing the pain with? And if that device is not being upgraded with the right elements, and it's being manipulated by detoxes and pills and powders and herbs and supplements and methodologies and crystals, then you're just doing more of the same, no different than the allopathic pharmaceutical industry. You're not that different, and don't claim to be any different when you're doing the same thing with the same outcome. Okay? So yeah, I do vet out my therapists that are on the JJUS protocol. I definitely vet them out because I know exactly where they're coming from. And when you're coming from a therapy world, your whole point is to mitigate the pain. And then if you're not bringing JJUS as part of your platform, then you're just being deceptive in the healing process. And I see it and I don't like it. And I will call it out. Take care. Bye.